welcome to another review on the benefit of the Doud podcast. Take two. I'm your host, Adam Doud, and joining us again for the second time in the last 10 minutes is Cliff Thomas. Cliff, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. Isn't technology wonderful?
It is. And you know what's great about this is we've already had our screw up.
Right.
So,
Sure.
we're done. We're good.
We're definitely not due for another one.
We've clocked out. We're done screwing up for the rest of this podcast, which is great because we have a review that we are going to do, and it's coming from you. And
That's right.
ran out of words that rhyme with ooh. So blue. And these buds are gray. Anyway, but they come
Although
in
there
blue.
might be a blue option. I mean, we could. How long can we keep the gag going?
Yeah, no. It's, you know what? Already too long. Anyway, let's go ahead and just dive right in. You have some. We're continuing on with the theme because our last video was noting how the Honor Magic V2 was impossibly thin. Now we are looking at some earbuds that are impossibly small. So Clifton, why don't you tell us all about these impossibly small earbuds? And do we want to bring up Slappy right away?
Slappy. Yeah.
All right, Slappy the review cam, which is the Virginian version of Skippy the review cam,
He's got an accent. You know, it's about the only difference.
Yeah. Hey, here I am. I'm Slappy. All right, Slappy.
So what we're checking out today are the JLab JBuds Mini, just recently released from JLabs, which is a company that mostly makes headphones and true wireless earbuds. They do actually have a new line of USB microphones that they have released as well recently, and this is part of a new release cycle of products for them. And I gotta say, these are, as I kind of move around here on Slappy, the smallest true wireless earbuds that I have ever seen. Enough so that I'm actually keeping them on this is my actual, like, believe it or not, this is not a prop keychain. These are my actual keys. So please don't copy my keys.
See, like, in reality, those keys are actually 2 feet long.
Exactly.
We just have them.
And my hand is I'm actually a giant. No.
Right.
Yeah, these are incredibly small. And as you'll see, I mean, just look, if we can compare it to, here is a 2004 Ford key. And, I mean, it's as long as the the fob part of it. Right, exactly.
Well, I also noticed another benefit of the Doud review item on there that our viewers might already be familiar with. So,
in fact, I think when I was showing you these, I used the Geek Key, which a review. Oh, this is so hard.
Yeah. Welcome to the wonderful world of reviews.
Slappy the review cam. Yes, I'm
having a review cam.
This way.
Yep.
Okay, something like that. All right. So now there's the Geek Key with it, which is like the size of a large key. So once again,
sure,
this is just the charging case. This isn't even the earbuds, right?
Mm-hmm.
or the one. So I'm gonna go ahead and I guess I can just pull these off of here.
So I don't think we've actually said the name of the thing, although it's in the title of the review. So if you read that,
I did actually know. right when we first started talking about it. But just in case, these are the JLab JBuds Mini.
Yep, and mini indeed they are.
Yes, they are. So I'm pulling them off of my keychain here. I'm sure you guys love the key jingling noises. Just put those back in my pocket, where this will be going later. Now, I wish I could have gotten the camera in a little closer. It's not helped by the fact of the thing that this is, like, incredibly tiny. But I'm gonna go ahead and take them out.
Okay.
And I mean, it's taken up a lot of the charging case is taken up in large part by the earbuds. So there are the earbuds, and then here is the packaging, just so you can see. Not a whole lot that comes into packaging. So you get a manual, which I'm not going to take out. You get a few different tips to fit your different kinds of ears, and then this USB-C to USB-C charging cable.
Oh, it is USB-C. That's good, because this is exactly the kind of item that they could just default to doing, micro USB,
especially for the cost, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Right.
Now, because of the size, I highly doubt that they would be able to include something that is one of my preferred features when it comes to true wireless earbuds, and that is to have wireless charging.
Wireless charging.
And honestly, at this size, I don't know how. I mean, it would almost be kind of difficult to kind of position them to get
Well,
them.
yeah, I mean, you look at that, like, compared to, like even like a MagSafe charger, like, the Apple cases have the
Right.
MagSafe, like, ring on them.
That's what I'm saying.
I bet that
Does
entire
it fit
case is
inside it?
smaller than the MagSafe ring.
It definitely is. And here, this is some other true wireless earbuds that I have a charging case. Now, these are the Philips Fidelio T1, I think. Something like that. But anyway, I actually wonder. I think that one of these by itself might actually be almost as
It is. It is.
almost as big. Now, these are like $299 headphones when they first launched. So I mean, this is a
Right.
completely different category of headphone. These are really premium and probably not something that you would, as an example, throw on your keychain. The great thing
Mhm.
about these are is that they are only $39.99
Right.
and relatively tough. So I don't feel bad if number one I lose these too much or if the case gets a little bit damaged. But
Mhm.
so we can first of all talk about the sound quality. It's honestly surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a bass head, if you're somebody who likes a lot of hip hop, maybe metal that's got a lot of like like a double kick drum pedal or something like that.
Little, Lindsey Sterling dubstep
Yeah.
there. Alright.
But I mean, seriously, of all the things that you would think that you would not get with these, I would think bass because they're just so small. But
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
but I think the way to think about these is number one with the price, and then two, the fact that these are kind of marketed, I think, towards your Joe average person, not really an audiophile. What most
Right.
people seem to prefer seems to be like solid mids and thumping bass, and then
Right.
everything else, especially because the most popular genres of music are basically country and hip hop right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and then I
true.
guess maybe like electronic or like pop, kind of filling in the middle though. And and
Yeah.
and for those purposes, these work just fine. They don't have a huge sound stage, but I honestly was pleasantly surprised with
Mhm.
the sound quality, the headphones and on, and I really did feel like they punched above their weight. I've definitely heard or had in my possession more expensive headphones that didn't sound as good. So one of the
Sure.
nice things, because this is a little blown out, I'm gonna try to get it to.
Oh, I was gonna ask, do they have an app? So
They
that's good.
do. So JLab is not a fly by night company. This is a company that's been around, I
Mhm.
think, for at least 10 years. In fact, if you go to like Best Buy, for example, they have a pretty big selection of headphones that are around like this price to around $100. They make headphones for
Okay.
kids that have like that sound limitation, so they're not blowing out their
Oh,
ears, things like
that's
that.
probably why their name sounds familiar, because I think I get PR people from
Right,
PR
right. I'm
stuff
sure
from
you
them all the
do.
time.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to show you the app. I've already paired these, but I mean, honestly, I guess I need to actually get them out here so it'll
So it'll actually
go
connect up.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
These are
while
super
you're
easy to
getting
pair.
while you're getting that going, it looks like I'm kind of looking at the product page here a little bit, which we'll
Mhm.
show everybody in just a little bit. Do these have active noise cancellation
So they have noise cancellation for background noise for calls, but
for
not
phone calls?
for
Okay.
phone calls. Yes.
But
So they've got like
they do have a pass-through mode, which I was
yes.
found interesting. Like,
Yes.
because typically one comes with the other in that case, but,
Right.
yeah,
I
okay.
To my knowledge, I have not found noise cancellation to be one of the things that they offer.
They don't have it, I'm sure.
No. But it's a pretty complete app in terms of what it offers. You have this is really hard to show with
Yeah, that's
kind
gonna
of
be
blowing it out here. I'm trying to like get it at an angle, but you have three equalizer presets, and then you can also create your own custom
Oh,
equalizer
okay.
preset. So one of them
Cool.
is like what they call JLab Signature, which is really bass forward. Then they have one that they call Balanced, and then one that was, let's see. Oh, and the third one was even more bass, basically.
Bass boost, yeah,
Right,
okay.
exactly. So you can kind of see who these are targeting based on,
Mhm.
what they offer. And the touch controls, I wonder if I can I almost want to, you know what? Maybe if I hold it up here. There we
Not
see.
really.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of.
So you can see, let me see if I can get this a little closer. All right. Focus, camera. But these are like one tap, two tap, three tap, four for
Yeah.
each earbud. And those are customizable with like four different options.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
a lot
Oh,
of
I love that.
customizability. Yes. So actually, Adam, so there's one tap, two tap, three tap, and long press. That's what they are in
Right.
terms of your options for
That's
each
usually
one.
what it is, yeah.
Yep.
And well, and I've actually been testing a lot of earbuds recently
Right.
for a roundup that I'm doing coming up for on Forbes. And like most of the earbuds that I have been testing have maddeningly not had that level of
Right.
customizability.
Hmm.
And we're talking like almost $300, earbuds in some cases here. And like they're only giving you like their presets,
Right.
which are like, oh God, it's like, these sound really great. And I want to like them, but I also want to adjust the volume. Why is that so hard? You know?
Yeah.
And
And
we're talking like established name brands like, "Oh my god, you have those earbuds?" Like,
most of the
I
time, I
oh,
find that the audiophile brands have much less customization options.
yeah.
It's very much like
Mm,
almost like luxury auto brands, right? Where you
yeah.
either get a ton of stuff or not a lot because they feel like they know better than you.
Yeah, they don't.
But
They do not.
it just give me the option, right? So
Yeah.
you also have a music mode or a movie mode, which I believe it has
Oh,
to do with
cool.
again. Yeah,
I'm
and
sure that
then
adjusts the EQ in one way or
right,
another.
exactly. And then
Yeah.
you have safe hearing, so you can actually set a safe hearing level so that it limits the volume, similar to
Oh,
what we're
really?
talking about for kids.
Well,
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah,
and
that seems to be on brand for what you were
it
talking about
and it saves it to the firmware in the headphones. So, like if you pair these with another,
with a different phone.
that it stays in there, which is great.
Neat.
And then yeah, so a lot of customization options, like you said, they call the feature be aware, but yeah, it's the hear through.
Yeah.
So I
And
mean,
they Yeah, go ahead.
I
Sorry.
was just gonna say, I really, honestly, the app is what makes these. Besides the fact that they're so small, I feel like the app just adds so much functionality,
Mhm.
and real a lot of value with these tiny little headphones, and it actually makes me want to try some other JLab headphones, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, I totally let me ask you this real quick. Are
Sure.
the earbuds touch sensitive, or is it like a physical button that you're
No,
pushing?
it's capacitive.
It is capacitive? Okay,
Yes.
because I was looking over the instruction manual and it says, "Go ahead and press the button," so I was kinda
Yeah.
curious
I
about that.
It
Um,
definitely just, but honestly, here's the thing. Normally, I prefer like a physical button, but I'm gonna like do like this kind of thing, and
mhm.
I'm gonna
Yeah, yeah,
put
yeah.
one on my in my ear, and you're
Okay.
gonna see just how small these are. And I feel like because they're so small, you might even just like you might push them out of your head if you
If you look straight at the camera, I cannot see them.
right. It's
Like,
ridiculous.
it is ridiculous. I mean, those things are I wonder, like, could you sleep with those in if you wanted to?
I could not just because I can't. Oh my god. Here's the thing though. They're so small.
Well,
I
sure. I
could
mean,
have 2 different sound sources coming technically. What if you're like what if, you know how they have like the trope about like the kid who's looks like he's reading his book, but actually he's got the comic book inside?
Oh, yeah.
It's
Oh,
that,
yeah.
but audio for people that work in a studio. Okay,
Yep.
done with
Yep.
that. But yeah, obviously really small. So I feel like
Do you need
a
tweezers to
physical
get them
button
out?
you'd have the option of pushing those out anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, still,
Okay.
those are really attractive, and the fact that they are so tiny. I
Yeah.
mean, like, you literally keep them on your keychain, and, they come with a keychain ring on them, which
They
is
do
just
right out of the
which is
box
adorable and
with a little
lovely,
whoops, with a little
and, like,
cloth tether.
yeah, I mean, just the fact that they like, even if they sound okay, like, that's still a
I
pretty
mean,
big value, a pretty
okay
big
is about
value
how
add.
I describe the sound. I mean, I would say
Mhm.
it's okay compared to most true wireless earbuds, but I have some earbuds like the ones that you saw that are like 199, 299. So
Right.
I'm just from my mental references to that. So here's the obvious trade-offs, right? I mean, you're going to give something up with having headphones
You know
that
what?
are
I
that.
wanna throw
Sure,
in one more
sure.
pro, if you don't mind. I was noticing on the product page, they also have Bluetooth multipoint, so you can connect to
Yes,
multiple devices at once, which is not something that you would normally see in that, although it's actually becoming more common
it is becoming more
for
common. I
price
think
points, but yeah.
I think it's also with the new standard. What is it like Bluetooth 5.2 and 5.3? I'm seeing a lot more headphones included.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Okay, so you were gonna go ahead and go over some cons. So
I mean, the obvious ones being, because they're small, they can't fit like multiple drivers and things like that in there. So obviously not
sure.
obviously not audiophile headphones, but I mean they're not marketed like that, so that's fine.
Do
But
you
the
happen
real
to know what codecs they support?
that is a good question. I do not know, and I meant to look that up before we.
I mean, LDAC is
Yeah,
standard. So,
LDAC is a standard. I mean, I it
oh,
seems like
you know what? I got it. I
I was gonna say
wait.
probably. My guess is
Oh, you know what?
aptX
No,
and
I'm sorry. It's SPC only.
really
So, well, I mean, that's the minimum standard for Bluetooth. So,
it is. I mean,
I
I
mean,
would
I
expect
thought
that
LDAC was
on an
kind of
iPhone.
pretty common. Yeah, but it's SBC only. So that is going to be a pretty big downside because you have a pretty big
Yeah,
drop in quality. Go
yeah.
even from LDAC, which I really like. I came up with LDAC off the top of my head, and I'm really hoping that I came up with the right term because
LDAC
I don't
LDAC
know.
is one, although LDAC is only supported by like Sony and a few other
Okay,
headphones. It's
what's
mostly
the common one then?
so there's SBC,
Right,
especially if you've got an iPhone, right? And then
right.
there's aptX or aptX
aptX is
Plus.
probably what I was thinking of.
That yeah, aptX is actually a Qualcomm standard, which is why obviously Apple is not
Yeah,
supporting those. There's
right.
Apple Lossless, which again, you don't see that pretty much unless you're dealing with high end
AirPods.
headphones or
Yeah.
AirPods, right? And then there's I think aptX. There's a couple of different like uh Qualcomm has introduced some of their own
I mean, it's
like
a whole alphabet
it's
soup,
a
but
whole it's yeah, but anyway, so in fact, normally when you use a smartphone, an Android smartphone that with true wireless earbuds or headphones that support aptX, it'll actually pop up and go, "Oh, your headphones support that," when you've got them
yeah,
connected. So I would
yeah,
imagine these are just SBC across the board. But again,
yeah. And
uh
they have Google Fast Pair, which is nice. I'm looking at
yes, they do
let
have
me
that.
as long as we're talking, let me go ahead and just pull up the product page here,
Right.
because this is what I was looking at here. But they do have Google Fast Pair, and I'm just remembering now that as I move my mouse around, you cannot see that,
Well,
which is
that's
fine.
okay. Yeah,
Um,
I suspected that they did support Google Fast Pair because usually when you have a Google Fast Pair enabled set of headphones, pops up with like the little like ping of the
the
little
little
image of
window,
them,
yeah,
and then it's
yeah,
got the individual charging levels for each one. Now that's
yeah.
actually something I wanted to talk about. The other thing that honestly I feel like you're gonna miss out on compared to larger ones is just the fact that the charging case is small. So it's about 15 hours total of battery that you can get out
Yeah.
of between the case and the headphones. I mean, maybe this is just one of those things where if you're planning on a lot of longer listening sessions, you'll have these on your keychain, and then maybe you bring along a second pair for something
I'm
like that,
do you
or you
have the
bring along
gray
a
or do you have
charging
the
battery.
green?
I have the one that's on the far right. It's
Green. Okay, the sage gray.
sage
Oh,
gray.
sage
Sage
gray. Okay.
gray.
I got because I was gonna
It
ask that
looks.
because I was kind of feeling that color to be honest. Like I'm just
I
like,
I
hey,
like this
that's
color
not
too.
bad. Yeah, I'm kind of digging that. So
It's yeah, I mean that's at least on my monitor, the that image is very true to the color of it too.
okay.
It is a gray with a that just leans a little bit of like a bluish green. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I dig it. I dig it. So okay, any other cons that you can think of? We already talked about battery life. They're sweat proof, which is good. But any
I
other
think
cons that you can think of off the
I
top of your
guess
head?
and you can actually see it right there. They are IP55, which they call that everyday proof. So I mean, I guess they're water that's
I
I
think
if
they
it's
consider that sweat proof as
sweat
well. So
proof.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's pretty much the as far as that goes. But
Yeah, don't get caught in the rain with them, but
right. So again, if considering the size of them, considering that the sound quality is pretty good, I feel like any compromises that they have are pretty much what you would expect, right? The fact that they
Mhm.
offer them in a bunch of different colors, the fact that the app gives you so much
That's nice.
customization. I
Yes.
mean,
Yes.
honestly, for $39, and that's the price at shipping. So who knows?
Right.
Maybe we'll see them for less, later on. I would recommend these to just about anybody who's not an audiophile, especially as like just the ones that you have in your purse or that you
Yeah,
have on
like
your
a backup
keychain
pair.
or exactly. They
Yeah.
you almost don't know they're there. That's
Yeah.
the thing. And you
And
don't
that's
know
cool.
and there's another thing, comfort, right? I almost don't know they're in my ears. Like they're so
Yeah.
light.
And it looks like they come with 2 different size ear tips, or
Yes.
do they have 3 different
It's
because they have the 2 and then the ones that are already on there?
it's whatever's on it and then 2 additional ones. So basically a small,
Okay.
medium, large, which is
Yeah.
very common for something in this price range.
Yeah, exactly. So that's very common, and like even higher price ranges, you might get like some like other intermediate step in there, but yeah,
Right.
for the most part, that's what you're gonna find. So overall, like, well, let's do we want to give it a score from 1 to Fitbit and figure out where we where we land on that? That's a shout out to one of our listeners, by the way.
Oh,
But
gotcha.
yeah, do we wanna give it a score, there? I mean, like, number of scores are kinda silly. Would you buy them, I guess, is my question. Are
I
you gonna
did
keep them
I
is
did
actually a
buy
better
them. Oh, yeah,
question because
absolutely. I mean, I
you're the king of returning things, so
I actually with these sought out the story with these is that one of my friends on Blue Sky mentioned like, "Hey, have you ever seen anything like this small?" This is like a throwback to this one company that made things like this back in the day that were just Bluetooth, like a Bluetooth mic that went in your ear. And I checked them out because I've owned something from JLab before. And I mean, honestly, like
yeah.
I will definitely keep these because they serve a function for me. Like
Mhm.
today, I was getting something installed in my car, a head unit. In this case, I was at Best Buy, and all they had was just a little chair. So I'm like, I would have just been sitting around going doodly doodly doo if I didn't have these headphones. And the fact that they were on my keychain, I could just take them out and throw them in, and I wasn't that guy watching YouTube videos in the middle of Best Buy,
Which is
with the
nice.
speaker on. Yeah.
Which is nice. Was the audio syncing up okay, or
Oh, yeah.
was there
I've
was
I've
there
I was on, and granted, I was towards the back of the store too, but I had no issues. So, I mean, the
Okay,
fact that it's
great.
Bluetooth 5.3, um
That's true.
oh, something else I can mention real quick. I did when I first got these, I can tell you about, and just looking at the specs here that we have on the screen, it says a range of 30 plus feet. I was able to walk across the house with these, and until I got to the very like diagonally opposed to the other side from where the source was,
Right.
is when I finally started getting a little bit of cutout with them. So
Okay.
decent range, honestly. Again, considering it's not exactly like they have giant antennas.
Right, exactly. They don't have giant anything because they're too small.
So, yeah,
But
I would
yeah.
recommend these for sure.
Cool. Well, I mean, that sums it up for me. Honestly, I'm kind of tempted to go ahead and just order a set myself, but I'm also really flush with earbuds these days,
Yes,
so
you are.
I really don't need to. But if I was looking for a new set of buds, especially one that I just wanted to toss in my bag and forget were there, this would be a pretty good set. So
I think these are a great set for someone like, someone that has teenagers because you've got all the different color options, the fact that
yeah,
you're not investing too much in them too, and the fact that they've got the hearing protection options in the app. I
right.
think that's a really good selling point for these for me, like, outside of the fact that I'm listening to them.
Yeah.
I think for teenagers and for maybe, like, tweens, these are awesome. Definitely wouldn't give them to my daughter because my daughter would lose them in probably a day or less,
Well, yeah. Does
but
the app have any kind of locator feature? I'm just
I don't think
curious.
so.
I'd be surprised if it did, but so all right, cool. Well, I think that is going to do it for this episode of the podcast. And please consider subscribing to the podcast if you enjoyed it. And if you really enjoyed it, I would love it if you would write a review for the show. And if you're watching this on YouTube, because it's a review and that's the only place we publish reviews, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and do the bell thing. I forgot what it was called, but the bell thing, do the bell thing. And you know
Smash
what?
that
Comment,
bell.
smash the bell, smash it. Just get a hammer or whatever's convenient, and comment down below. Are you going to pick up a set of these? Because we genuinely want to know if you're going to pick these up, and if you want some early access, because all of our patrons have already seen this video even as you're watching it, then you can go to patreon.com/benefit of the Doud. I'd like to thank co-producer Cliff for all of his hard work behind the scenes and for taking us on a tour of the JLab Buds Mini. And most of all, and as always, I really need to stay on script because when I start wandering, that's when things go off the rails. But most of all, and as always, I'd like to thank you for listening and for giving us the benefit of the Doud.